I'm your host, the one you love the most, Niall Hassan, back with a brand new episode here on The Truth. Back once again with my boy AJ Ponciano. AJ, how are you doing here today?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to either looking really dumb and having some of these clipped or looking very smart.
Yes. We are doing hot takes, and we are going to be doing some hot takes. Apparently, AJ doesn't think my takes are hot enough, which I think is reasonable, but I think I still have the sizzlingest take of all time, and the fact that Will Levis will be a Hall of Famer. That will always live on as a legendary hot take. But it's your guys' favorites. We got 10 hot takes for you guys, 5 each. Just a fun little thing to do right before the NFL season starts. So, without further ado, AJ's already heard all four of my 5 hot takes. I'm very curious to see about his hot takes. We'll go one from one, maybe talk about them a little bit, and get out of here pretty quick. So go ahead and give me your first sizzling hot take.
So Aaron Rodgers is going to be my MVP. He's going to win it.
Knew that was
I believe he'll
coming.
be number 4. He'll be winning, I believe, if he wins this year. Maybe number 3. Either way, I mean, we didn't get to see him what he did. We didn't see him at all last year. He didn't have a single pass attempt, I believe. I don't know. He just has all the weapons, everything that he needs. I get it. He's getting older. I understand that's Achilles injury to an old quarterback, but it's still Aaron Rodgers in a really good situation. Chico boy, I gotta represent.
Boy, would that be something. What is he, 41, 42, 40? I mean, I know he's in the 40s.
Yeah, he's in the early 40s.
That would be pretty remarkable if he were to come back from a torn Achilles, win an MVP, and if he does, he's got to retire, right? I mean, like, I don't think he would. I think that's true. I think honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers plays 3 more years. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but he's like Tom Brady. It's like he'll never get too old. He had like that. I mean, most guys when they tear their Achilles at 39, 40 would probably be done. He's not. He's back and better than ever. So I'm just happy he's out of the division for once, and I can actually watch him play instead of watching him just dismantle my Vikings. All right, that's pretty hot. You've been kind of back in that one for a period of time. Mine aren't really that hot. I don't know why. I got like just mid takes, but my first one is Kyle Pitts finishes as a top 3 fantasy tight end. I really like Kyle Pitts. I think a lot of people are disrespecting Kyle Pitts. I know there's a lot of good top tier tight ends, especially this year, but we got to remember how good of an athlete Kyle Pitts was. He was selected number 4 overall for a reason. I know you're going to say Atlanta selects a lot of offensive weapons very early, but he was a guy that was at times projected to go inside the top 3. Now he's finally got a quarterback in Kirk Cousins who loves his tight ends. We've seen what Kirk Cousins has done to TJ Hawkinson and really kind of brought him back onto the scene. I think this whole offense has completely changed. I know for fantasy owners, people are not drafting Kyle Pitts for however long it seems. I don't know why. I mean, I really do believe that he has the potential to finish as a top 3 tight end. He could be this year's Sam Laporta, even though I know Sam Laporta was a rookie, but just kind of shoot out from nowhere and have tremendous value by season's end. All right, give me your next one.
Bo Nix will win Rookie of the Year.
That is hot.
I know Caleb Williams is obviously the favorite. There's other guys in front of him a little bit, but I mean, Nick's starting quarterback, he has everything he needs. He has Sean Payton, who is one of the best offensive-minded head coaches in NFL history. It's a little bit biased, yes, but Drew Brees.
Okay, so you're talking about Sean Payton as a Saints fan and Bo Nix as a Ducks fan. Okay, respectable.
Yeah, I got to stick with my guys. But I mean, this offense is built just for Bo Nix. Like, he has a good running back game, a dual system where you have Javonte Williams, who's a better running back. But then you have McLaughlin out the back. You have Mims, who can go over the top. You have that veteran wide receiver in Sutton. You still have Trey Franklin, who was his number 1 weapon when he was at Oregon the last 2 years. I mean, I feel like just everything's just in place for him. And I get it, Caleb's in a better situation, but it's still the Bears, and it's still the Bears head coach. It's not Sean Payton at the head coach. And again, they're going to want to do what he did in Oregon. Get the ball off his hand quickly and just play Baker's hands. And again, Bo Nix able to do that efficiently without turning the ball over. I think the Broncos, they may not win many games, but they could score a lot of points.
I mean, I'm just not a big Bo Nix fan. I don't know. I mean, I think he's a college quarterback, which, again, I understand. He was a college quarterback for like 15 years, but he's, I guess, translated well. We'll see. But he did win that starting job, so very in the realm of possibilities, to say the least. My second one is Justin Herbert finishes top 7 in passing. And what I mean by passing is passing yards. I know that sounds insane to think about a Jim Harbaugh offense where Justin Herbert finishes top 7 in passing. But people are just discrediting Justin Herbert as a whole. Justin Herbert is one of the best passers in recent NFL draft history as far as coming out of the draft. His first couple years in the league, I was, including myself, not a believer in Justin Herbert. And the way that he was able to pass.
What college did he come out of? What college did he come out of?
Oh, whatever. Oregon. Yeah. Hey,
That's
I wasn't a big Herbert guy. I was more of a Tua guy, but I was like, okay, the Chargers kind of had to settle with Herbert. That's not the case. He's definitely stepped up to the plate. Was injured last year, has had good success in the past. I think it does continue. I know there's going to be an emphasis on running the football. I think that's important for the Chargers. But you bring in Ladd McConkey, I think is poised for a huge season. You got guys like Joshua Palmer, got some nice tight ends as well. I mean, this is a team that can really be a run-first offense with tremendous passing value. And if Justin Herbert is able to stay healthy throughout the season, this is going to be one of those things that really kind of transpires or transforms his career to kind of a different level that we haven't seen before, because now Herbert has to work harder for those extra stats. All right, your third hot take.
None of the Texans wide receivers will have a dominant season. I think they'll all just be good. I don't think that anyone's going to have, like, the best season there. Is not going to be clear number one. I get Nico probably, or Stephon Diggs are probably going to be, should be the one or two, but Tank Dell was great with CJ there for a while. I'm still a big fan of John Mechie. They now have a running back room where CJ doesn't have to throw as much. I don't know. I feel like just the amount of weapons there, CJ should have a good year, but outside of that, I mean, Stephon Diggs, he's such a diva. I don't know what you're going to get out of him week to week. I don't know if that's going to make the wide receiver room toxic and like them start butting heads because one guy is just calling for the ball the whole time. I don't know. I love CJ Stroud, but I don't think just the amount of guys there, they're all going to want their targets. They're all going to want their receptions. I don't think there's not one guy I feel like his head and shoulders over the other. Again, Stephon Diggs is that veteran that you think would be, but Nico Collins just had a great year. And I know he didn't have the best rookie year and second year, but Tank Dell had a great year last year as a rookie. There's not one guy I love. I think they'll just have very, very good years, but none of them are going to have a great year where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, he was the top 5 wide receiver at the end of the year.
I'm just going to say, you guys know how I feel about the Texans offense. Stephon Diggs, things like that matter. I'm not a very big component, to say the least. Okay, my next one, Deshaun Watson is benched by week 8. I mean, it's not really that hot of a take. It's pretty realistic at this point, it seems like. I mean, Deshaun Watson has not lived up to the standards that the Cleveland Browns were expecting. Deshaun Watson obviously has had a great career with Houston. Then he went to go get massaged, and it hasn't been that great since then. But looking at them as a whole, you got Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, as you remember, at the backup quarterback position. And I feel like if Jameis Winston's like one of these guys that like was a former number 1 overall pick, has not materialized into what he was. I mean, he kind of did, but he had the 30-30 season. And anyways, more of the story is he's a veteran backup quarterback that could step up to the reins and really kind of take this Browns team moving forward. So it's a win-win situation for Jameis Winston to be in Cleveland and kind of a new environment there instead of New Orleans. But I think it's very, very possible that Deshaun Watson gets hit with the bench button pretty soon if he's not able to step up to the level that we've been expecting him to step up to ever since those massage issues that he had in the past. Okay, go on for your next.
So kind of on the same lines as a quarterback change, I have Sam Howell becoming the starting quarterback by the end of the year. I wasn't a big Sam Howell fan. I wasn't a big fan of him. You guys watched last year how much I just hated on Sam Howell for just being that gunslinger, but he was also doing that on an offense that didn't throw the ball a lot. They were being more conservative. They didn't push the ball down the field. And didn't really have that many weapons. I love McLaurin, but that was about it. Now he's going to a situation with Lockett, Metcalf, JSN, a true running back, a head coach that loves throwing the ball. We saw it at Washington last year. I think that just adds up perfectly for Sam Howell. I get it. Geno's going to be that veteran quarterback who was the starter the last 2 years, but he's getting a little bit older. I mean, he had a bounce back year and then a really bad year last year. I mean, if he performs badly from the start, they may just want to go with Sam Howell. They want to go with the younger guy. If I'm not wrong, Drew Lock isn't there anymore, so Sam Howell is the number 2 on the depth chart. Again, Geno just isn't able to run the offense how they want, push the ball down the field like how I would assume this new head coach is going to want to do. Sam Howell's that guy. He's kind of that gunslinger. He's going to throw interceptions, but he's also going to throw 2 or 3 70-yard bombs a game. I mean, one of the two. And I don't know. I need another year out of Geno Smith. I'm not convinced that he's back to being a starting NFL quarterback.
You guys also know how I feel about Sam Howell. I love Sam Howell. I think he's a tremendous player. I really do. And I think that he's kind of in a situation where it looks like the turn to the tables might be turning just because Geno's getting up there and he didn't really show what he did when he came back and had a good amount of success. So I was going to go with a different one for my fourth take, but I'm going to put that one for the last one. I'm going to say Russell Wilson is benched by week 5. Russell Wilson was named the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be very short-lived for a couple of reasons. One, Seattle traded Russell Wilson and received the entire Denver Broncos franchise, and Russell Wilson didn't even make it the full year in Denver. And look, Sean Payton, a very respected coach in the NFL. You know who else is a very respected coach in the NFL? Mike Tomlin. And if you piss off Sean Payton, you're probably going to piss off Mike Tomlin. And I think, Russell Wilson's just not playing at the level that he used to be. I think a lot of people expect Russell Wilson to be back in that position where he was a top-tier quarterback. It's just not the same Russell Wilson. I also think Justin Fields is tremendous. I thought Justin Fields outplayed Russell Wilson in camp from what I've seen as well as the preseason. I know Russell Wilson was dealing with an injury, so a little bit unfair advantage there. But still, Justin Fields is something to prove. He got traded for a bag of potato chips. So there's one of those things where it could be a quarterback change very, very soon. I think as well, just because the Steelers have had so much success. It's like, a winning season, like the last 16, 17, maybe that's maybe too long. I don't know. It's been, I think, since Tom. Yeah, okay. It's been since Tom has been there, and he's been one of the longest tenured coaches. So it's one of those things that the change is going to come sooner than later. I think Steelers fans are going to be thankful for when it is, and I think this is the beginning of the end for Russell Wilson. All right, give me your final sizzling take.
Alvin Kamara will have 2,000 combined yards through the ground and on the air. I know you hate the take. He's 29 years old. He's getting a little bit older. I know. It's all right. But you know what? Much better offensive system and an actual offensive coordinator should be healthy all year. If he's healthy all year, this West Coast offense fits him perfectly. He's going to be the number one running back there. No one's taking those carries away from him. He's he's still been good. He has never been 2,000 yard running back in his career. I believe 1,800 is his highest. That was back in 2020. It's going to be a contract year. He wants more guaranteed money. That was one of the big things why he was sitting out. That's one way to show that you get some guaranteed money right there. Go out and go get 2,000 yards through the ground through the air. I mean, you're getting older. There's always question marks about these older running backs, but I believe he's the same age as Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey just got a huge deal. I believe was it this offseason or 2 offseasons ago. At this point, it's one of those things that Kamara is probably not going to get that type of money. I'm not expecting that, but he wants guaranteed money. Right now, he's a 3rd-round pick. He didn't get that 5th-year option like how 1st-round picks do. He's fighting for that money. I mean, he's been basically on almost a minimum at this point for what his last contract was. I believe it was a 2-year extension on top of his rookie contract. He wants guaranteed money. The only way he can do that is to go out and perform and stay healthy. He's going to want to do that.
I mean, I hope so because I have him in a couple of fantasy leagues. But Jamal Williams is still there, right?
Yeah, but he's more like the RB3 right now. He's not really another running back there. He's wowing anyone.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Kendre Miller's hurt, right? He's on IR.
He's out for the first 4 weeks on the wherever pup list that is for the 4 weeks.
Okay, maybe it's possible. Maybe it is a little possible. Maybe I'm giving you a little too much discredit there. I hope it's good, though. I hope, because Kamara really disappointed me last year, so I got a little bitterness towards him.
I mean, he missed some games. He missed 4 games.
Fair enough. My final take is the Jaguars make the AFC Championship game. Pretty hot take, I would say.
Trevor Lawrence, baby.
Trevor Lawrence, baby. T-Law, look. He got that money, right? What does it go? I want to get my money. Give me my money. What's that TikTok? I know you know it, bro. I know you on TikTok. I know you on TikTok.
If you did the Dry Manziel money to the ear, I would have respected that a little bit more. But
yeah, no, but he got paid, right? You talk about BTJ, which everything I've heard from BTJ has been tremendous. As far as his camp and preseason, things like that. And then obviously you got Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Travis Etienne. Defense could use a little bit of work. I mean, don't forget they had Trayvon Walker still there, Devin Lloyd, Andrew Sisko, Darnell Savage, Ronald Darby. Yeah. I mean, they got dude, they got a loaded
third in
team.
the NFL. It was like third in sacks last year in the NFL or
Yeah.
something.
They got a loaded team, and I think nobody's talking about them. On top of that, they play in not a terrible division, a division that's always seems to be wide open as far as like both or all four teams really competing for, getting into the playoffs and winning the division. So favorable conditions there. It's not that I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have the best team in the AFC. I think they can make the deepest run. We obviously know Jacksonville Jaguars fans are hungry. I think the last time they were in the AFC Championship was when Blake Bortles was the quarterback, and Tom Brady played against Tom Brady. Yeah. So
2015.
they are. It's time for them to get their money. T-Law got his money. BTJ looks good. The defense looks good, and make it to the AFC Championship. I don't think they win, but I think they will make it there. And again, it's a hot take. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, who cares, right? Jacksonville Jaguars will be back next year. But I'm really excited to see what T-Law is going to do this year. That's the main thing. Thank you guys for listening to another episode here in The Truth. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you follow The Truth on Twitter. The Truth as one to stay up to date with the latest information regarding The Truth, including podcast dates, podcast uploads, and other important information you don't want to miss. Make sure you guys also follow The Truth on Instagram and TikTok at the.tt.truth. Are you looking to find a drink that offers peak hydration, raises your energy levels, speeds up your recovery, and keeps your mind sharp through focus and memory? Look no further than Acid Rainwater. I'm excited to partner with Bloodline Sports AZ and Acid Rainwater, which focuses on peak hydration and productivity, will also maintain an ecosystem-friendly product. Use code HESSON15, that's HESSON15 for 15% off every purchase. As always, I'm your host, the one you love the most, Niall Hesson, joined once again by AJ Ponciano. Take care and good night.